Hey y'all, I'm back with another video. So I've been gone for a minute, but for a long time actually, but I'm about to get back into it. This first video I'm gonna react to is about a Florida healthcare worker was killed for AC temperature being low by a husband who was upset because he was hot. But does it sound crazy, sound ridiculous? But let's get into the story and see what it's about.
A woman who identified herself as a family member spoke to TV20. She said Head tried to pour gasoline on the victim's daughter, who was able to get away. Officials believe this was a case of domestic. Responders couldn't remove the body until an ambulance arrived. In a previous version of this story, incorrectly identified the homeowners. This is a developing story, and we'll have more information as it becomes available.
This story today is one of the most horrific things that any person could do to another human. I mean, the pure callousness behind what one person is said to have done to the person that he was supposed to love the most is unthinkable. Love is not supposed to hurt, but it's patient and it's kind, and love definitely does not make you want to take a person's life. Today we will be in Williston, Florida, a very small town located about 30 minutes southwest of Gainesville, Florida. Some say living in Williston is like living in a small town paradise. The people there are friendly and welcoming, and the community spirit is strong. With less than 3,000 people, everyone basically knows everyone, and the community is truly like a family. However, a dramatic scene on the 1100 block of Northeast 4th Avenue left the community in a complete and total shock after finding out what took place inside a home there on July 25th, 2024. 53-year-old Genevieve Head was described by loved ones as a loving person who was a mother to one adult daughter plus a devoted wife. Though she lived in Williston area, she worked at UF Health Hospital as a mental health technician for many years. On the job, G, as many called her, was said to be the sweetest person who always kept it real with people. She was also the go-to person if you needed a good laugh. Outside of work, G, whose loved ones also called Nita, mostly would keep to herself, but was said to be very caring and supportive and loved her family, especially her daughter. Her daughter, who was currently 32 years old, apparently moved back into the home with her mother and her stepdad Robert about 2 years ago. G and her daughter were very close, and they were like best friends who always had each other's back on many things. As for Robert, G's husband, they got married in September 2015, but after some years, he started feeling like his wife constantly defended her daughter anytime something happened in the home. For Robert, he appeared to feel like less of a man, and that it was always two against one. As his anger built up inside, things in Robert's mind appeared to turn dark, because instead of handling a disagreement in a normal way, he decided to do something completely heinous. It was a Thursday evening in July 2020.
Just looking at his mugshot, like you could already tell something wasn't right with him. And of course, as she said, the daughter moved back in the house. Her adult daughter, her daughter moved back into the house with her, and I'm assuming from, but he already had a problem with it from the beginning. And of course, moms and their daughters, they're really close. And of course, they're gonna stick up for their daughters, and for wherever the case, wherever the reason may be. And of course, he had a problem with that, but we're gonna get more into it.
24. And according to G's daughter, she had just got home from work somewhere around 7 p.m. When she went inside the home, she told detectives the house was hot and the air condition was on low. The daughter also went on to say that her mother and Robert argued about the temperature of the home on many occasions. So that Thursday evening, a verbal confrontation allegedly ensued, and Robert called his wife names like itch, and she responded by calling him a broke itch back, according to the official documents. From that point, Robert walked outside smiling and returned with a cooking pot full of gasoline, according to the documents. He allegedly then said, "If we're going out together. I told you I ain't never leaving you." So apparently G must have told him that she was done and over fighting, and maybe she was ready to finally call it quits. That's when the cops say he took the pot of gasoline and poured it all over his wife's entire body. According to cops, the daughter told them Robert then lit a piece of paper and threw it on his wife, causing an immediate explosive reaction. So tragically, G was set ablaze, literally burning alive, fighting for her life. Most people have burnt themselves at least one time in their life, if not more, whether it be from the stove, oven, boiling water, or whatever. The smallest of burns hurt like crazy. So I can't even imagine being doused in gasoline and then set ablaze. G had to be in the most agony that anyone can experience. It makes me mad just to honestly think about it. Her own husband. However, it did not stop there because G's daughter was also burned in the process, but was able to run out the house to safety. 911 was called and the Williston Fire Rescue responded around 7:48 p.m. to the report of a structure fire. When they did arrive to the house, it was fully engulfed in flames, and they were alerted that a woman was still inside. Crews rushed inside to find G sadly unalive. Officers also were told that Robert was responsible for taking her life. At this time, though, Robert was nowhere to be found, but cops eventually found him. He was hiding inside of a dog kennel, holding a machete, saying he was going to take his own life. But eventually authorities were able to get him out, and he was arrested and taken into custody. G's daughter told deputies that she was in the home when Robert started the fire, and afterwards she was taken to the hospital for her burns to recover. Now, post Miranda, the defendant allegedly admitted to setting his wife on fire. Robert would tell detectives he was upset because his wife was defending her daughter during an argument ever since she moved in with them for a few years now. After the two argued with him over the AC, he allegedly said he went outside to fill the pot with gas and then he came back inside and set his wife ablaze. He said he had plans to take his own life too.
I knew it. It's always ish for some reason when the stepfathers, when they move into the house with a woman and she has kids, for some reason, some of them, they have a problem with their stepkids. I don't know, whatever the reason is. And of course, they try to make the moms choose in between them and the kids. And of course, she was trying to help her daughter because her daughter was going through something, so she had to move back into the house. And the mom was doing the right thing, but the dad, him being selfish, only thinking about himself and his needs, he didn't want her in there, so he's trying to control the mom by not letting her come, by having a problem with the daughter. And of course, whenever they get into an argument, I'm sure he would try to bring that up, having the daughter. Of course, the daughter's going to take the mom's side and against her stepdad, and people like him, they just snap, and it was ridiculous.
4 officers showed up, but that did not happen. However, when asked, Robert stated that he did deserve to be unalive for taking the life of G, according to the affidavit.
Family members of the victim found in a house fire in Williston say they're recovering one day at a time.
This was like a shocker, you would never think something like this happened to your family.
Family and friends visited the scene after a body was found. 58-year-old Robert Head is charged with and arson. Officials say it happened on Northeast 4th Avenue. Residents tell me they've had incidents in the past, but it's a people problem, not a neighborhood problem.
What happened yesterday evening really proved the togetherness, how everyone just came together.
People who told me they were related to the victim identified her as Genevieve Hills. Officials confirm a heated argument between Head and Genevieve led to him throwing a pot filled with gas at her. He then threw a lit piece of paper at her.
She was very blunt and she was very caring and she supported. It's very rare that she'll say no to you if you came to ask her for something. She was very supportive.
Family members also say they heard Head try to pour gasoline on the victim's daughter as well, who they identify as Shakaro Hills. James Bradshaw says she ran out before getting injured.
During Robert's first appearance in court on July 26, the judge spoke on his previous criminal offenses. Back in the 1980s, Robert was in prison for a situation with a child. Then in the 1990s, he was also arrested for possession of a weapon by a convicted felon. Then in 2001, Robert was charged with a domestic crime and failed to appear in court. So right now he is being held at the Levy County Jail on no bond, and from the looks of it, he will never see the outside world again. G did not deserve what happened to her, and she should still be here. Then her daughter had to witness it all go down, and now she will forever have that tragic day in her mind. The whole story, though, is beyond heartbreaking and sad, and my thoughts and prayers are with all of G's loved ones. So please don't forget to comment your thoughts and prayers for this family in their difficult time, and hit that like button and share to make your people aware. And as always, remember to stay woke. Things change quickly.
Okay, so it's obviously a tragic story. For some reason, it seems like it's these crimes against women by their partners has been on the rise with these men. They can't control their emotions. So one thing, since they can't control, the only thing they do is to harm the woman, harm their partners, and it's ridiculous. But yeah, I feel sorry for the daughter because she had to witness that happened to her mom, and then of course she's always going to be thinking about that one moment. And him, obviously, like, to men like him, that's ridiculous. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about that story. But y'all will see me react to more similar posts, articles like this. But yeah, let me know.